First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. And what I want to get into right this lesson is how Esau is powerless against our power. Okay, Esau is powerless against our power. Okay, and what we've seen, over Esau's rulership is him being able to dominate the earth with the power given to him by our power. Okay, because it's the Heavenly Father, through Yahweh Shai, that empower Esau, okay, to rule the earth. All right, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Well, who is it given into the hand by? All right, by our power. You see, it's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, okay, that established Esau, okay, within his rulership. And you see, and Esau in his mind, he thinks he's able to go against the power that gave him power. Okay, so you see how foolish and delusional Esau is. As we talk about how Esau has the earth, delusional, okay, foolish, confused. Well, there's no one that's more confused and delusional than Esau, okay, because he has in his mind, okay, that he's going to go head up, all right, with our power. Okay, the power that gave this nigga power, man. But what the Lord is finna do is embarrass this man in a major way and show this man that he, all right, is useless. Okay, he's powerless against true power. All right, that's why you go to Isaiah 45 and 9 and say, woe unto him that scribe it with his maker. Let the potsherd scribe with the potsherds of the earth. Yeah, so woe to him, destruction, that scribe it with his maker. Okay, this man is scribing with his maker, man. This whole technocracy is rooted in Esau scribing against the Most High. Okay, him trying to undermine the authority of the Most High in the earth and taking it onto himself, man. Okay, this is the biggest rebellion the earth has ever seen. This is the most blatant, okay, attempt at rebelling against the Most High that the earth has ever seen, led by Esau Edom. Okay, and even with that, the Lord has him on that crash out mission, man. Okay, Esau is doing nothing of himself, man. Okay, everything that this man has achieved within his rulership was the Lord wanted him to achieve that, man. Because the Most High wanted this nigga to be proud so he could fulfill his role in prophecy, man, and attempt to get at the Most High, to undermine the Most High, okay, which will bring on a great destruction. You see, it said, let the potsherds scribe with the potsherds of the earth. Yeah, see, Esau, the power he's been given, yeah, he's been able to dominate, all right, the earth, the people, the nations. Okay, he's been able to, make the earth submit, okay, to his agenda, to his will. You see, he's been able to bend these nations to his liking with the power that was given unto him. So he's been successful at scribing in the earth. Okay, but now this devil is attempting to scribe against the Most High, and that's where it's finna get ugly, man. Okay, that's where it's finna get, all right, embarrassing, man. Okay, and it says, shall the clay say to him that fashioned it, what makest thou, all right, or thou work, he have no hands. Okay, so Esau in his mind, he thinks that he can upgrade creation. He thinks that he can enhance the creation of the Most High. He thinks he can add to the wisdom of the Most High, and it's just pure pride. Okay, it's just pure pride, that Esau has based on the power given to him by our power, man. Okay, and that's why the Lord, he's going to put on the showcase and show that this man is powerless. Okay, this man ain't hyped up. All right, the way he hypes himself up. Yeah, if you're just, hey, if you don't have Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, yeah, Esau is a God unto you with the power he's been given. But as we come back to our power, hey, and then Yahweh Bashem Al Shai don't want us to look at this nigga like he great, man. Okay? Hey, the Lord down talks this nigga all the time, man, and tells us not to be afraid of this nigga, man. Tell us not to be at all with this nigga, man. You know, as we come back to true power, man, hey, the Heavenly Father don't want us to look at this nigga like he's something great and this magnificent nigga in the earth, man. Get out of here, man. Okay? This nigga's an idiot. Okay? And everything that this man is attempting to do, okay, is leading him, all right, to deal with true power, to be judged by true power, man. Okay? Now let's go here. I think there's Isaiah, let's see, you know, because the Heavenly Father don't, I just don't want us looking at this nigga like he's just some, you know, magnificent. You know, nah, man, the Lord gave this nigga power, okay, you see, to fulfill prophecy, man. Let's see. Yeah, 51 and 13. Uh, um, I started to 12. This Isaiah 51 and 12 says, even I am he that comforted you. Who art thou that thou shouldest be afraid of a man that shall die? Okay? Esau is a man that dies, man. You know, because Esau, see, he benefits off people, you know, looking at him to being something greater than what he is. You know, he benefits off that, man. You see, because it gives him more control when people think that he has way more power than what he has. I say now he's been given power. You know, he has the ability to influence a lot of things. You know, in the earth. You know, the Lord has allowed this man, you know, to tap in. Okay, to particular things. He's done things that no other nation has been able to achieve. Okay, and it all plays a part in him being proud and puffed up. Okay, so the Lord has given this man power. Now, we don't doubt that this man has any power. You know, he has the ability to, you know, to destroy the sword. Okay, like I said, he's able to, you know, tap in. You know, he's made technology micro. Okay, so he can do particular things. You know, witchcraft, enchantments. You know, the thought of this man is deep. So he has an ability. You know, we don't deny his ability. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. Okay? What we're saying is when we're talking about comparing Esau to our power, it's no comparison. Okay? He talk about this technology, oh, it's gonna make you God like, it's gonna make you be like you're gonna do miracles like Jesus and all this. Shut up. Okay? He's a fraud, man. All right? A snake oil salesman, man. You see? And the Lord is exposing it more and more. All right? That's why we're seeing the devil deal with what? Limitation. The Most High don't deal with limitation. The angels, okay? You see those cherries don't deal with limitations, man. Okay? They don't have to deal with the laws of physics. The laws of physics is limitations on man. Okay? See, Esau has to deal with that. He has to, you know, like I said, he has to have, you know, his heart has to beat like everybody else. He has to breathe. He needs oxygen. Okay, he needs food, water. He needs all those things like everyone else, man. Okay, you see. So you know the power that he's been given. Okay, we have to understand that the Lord is working through this man on the left hand side for prophecy's sake, man. Okay, and when the Lord is drawing back, and we're seeing Esau evolve back into that base man. Okay, it said, even I and him that comfort you. Who art thou that thou shouldest be afraid of man that shall die, and the son of man which shall be, all right, as grass, man. As grass, man. Grass withers, you know, you cut grass. Grass is helpless, you know. You see? You know, you cutting grass, man. Grass is helpless, man. Grass can do nothing against, okay, a lawnmower. Okay, and Yahweh Shai is coming to mow Esau kingdom down, man. And he's gonna be helpless, man. Okay, and we're comforted by that. See, that's our comfort, okay, in the scriptures, man. We're comforted by these words and understanding that he is, man. To where we look at this nigga not like he ain't. You know, he's nothing to be afraid of, man. You see? His threats he finna make, oh, you can't do this if you don't get this device, nigga. You don't have the last say so. There's an authority that's way above you, man. Okay, Yahweh, all right, and his son Yahweh Shah, man. Those authorities that are way above this nigga, man. Okay? And we're comforted by that. And it says, verse 13, it says, and forgettest the Lord thy maker that has stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundations of the earth, and has feared continually every day because of the fury of the oppressor, as if he were ready to destroy. And where is the fury of the oppressor, man? You know, because Esau's finna do all this huffing and puffing. He finna get draconian. You know, the Lord is gonna allow this man, you know, to unalive a lot of people. Okay, on his way out, man. Okay, so he finna do that huffing and puffing, but we know once he start putting his hands on the prophets, man, things are gonna shift into a whole nother gear. Okay, it's gonna be a standard lifted, and even he's gonna be able to martyr, you know, some believers, man. But wait a minute, there's a promise of a standard being lifted on his ass, and then eventually Howard Shah gonna return. Okay, and then where the fury of the press are gonna be? All this huffing and puffing. Wait, all this, you know, this nigga being mad. We gonna see what that said then, what that energy is then, when that standard lifted and Howard Shah's return, man. Okay, we gonna see what that anger and that tough guy shit gonna be. Okay, when the standard is lifted, going into the time of Yahweh Shah returning, man. Okay, so nah, man, the Lord don't want us to look at this nigga like he this magnificent nigga in the world, man. When you go here, okay, and there was a time, you know, you looked at this nigga like, man, he got this, man, he did that, he pulled that off, like what? Now you look at this nigga, man, like, man, this nigga's overrated, man. And this nigga dumb. Okay? This Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 19, it says, I started 17. It says, and the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of man shall be made low, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al Shah alone shall be exalted in that day. The Lord alone is going to be exalted. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, man. The Father and the Son are going to be exalted because of what? The judgment that they're going to bring forth. Because they're going to show how powerless Esau is. Okay? They're going to show true power in the earth, man. These nations are going to know true power. See, Esau's been the standard of power in the earth for a long time with his military and his economy, all right, and his enchantments, man. You see, he's been the standard of power. But see, there's coming a power, okay, that's going to make him powerless. And that's the power that's going to be exalted in that day, man. It says, and the idols he shall utterly abolish, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth for fear of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, and for the fear, all right, and for the glory of his majesty when he arises to shake terribly the earth. When he arises to shake terribly the earth, man. You know? The Lord is going to shake the earth with judgment, man. You see, while he would in the process of the Lord showing how powerless Esau is, the earth gonna shake, man. Okay, it says, in that day, man shall cast his idols of gold, his idols of silver, and his idols of gold, which they made each one, all right, for himself to worship to the moles and to the bats, to go into the clefts of the rocks and in the tops of the ragged rocks, for fear of the Lord and for fear, all right, of the glory of his majesty when he arises to shake terribly the earth, man. So this man is going to go into these underground bunkers, these underground cities out of fear. Okay? So wait a minute. If this man is supposed to be this powerful nigga, man, why is he going to be in bunkers, man? And these are the elites. You know, because elites have this, you know, this mystique of, you know, just these, you know, you would think you get a, you know, you think that these 10-foot niggas with, you know, just in you know, somewhere floating, jumping through portals like Doctor Strange or something, man. These niggas finna be in the bunkers, man. Okay? Terrified, man. You see? Because true power gonna be in the earth, man. All right? And these niggas gonna flee. Okay? But why verse 22 says, what? Cease ye from man whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he to be accounted of, man? Whose breath is in his nostril, man. Flee from thinking this nigga is something great, man. Separate from this nigga, man. Don't look at this nigga like he just some great, magnificent, okay? Like the Alicia's got everything figured out and they, you know, nah, man. These niggas be scrambling. These niggas be guessing on a lot of shit. Certain shit work for their favor because the Lord wanted to, okay? And he's got, you know, certain agendas. He's been, you know, for the longest he's been ahead, you know, of the people. But now, all right, prophecy has walked this man down. Now we're seeing this man weird in his counsel, scrambling, tacky, limited. Okay, Esau looking normal as hell out here, man. Okay, the closer we get to the end, man, looking normal as hell. The only thing he got left is to throw a tantrum with the sword, man, and unalive. All right, a lot of people that the Lord want him to unalive, man. Okay. You see, read verse 22 in the NLT said, don't put your trust in mere humans. They are as frail as breath. What good are they, man? Yeah, it's all frail as hell, man. These elites niggas be having heart transplants. Okay? Niggas be having heart problems. Niggas be having, you see? These niggas subjugated, you know, to everything that everyone else is subjugated to, man. Okay? He's just been given a lot of wealth, okay? Weaponry, you see, and you know, the dark arts. Okay, but those things are limited, man. Okay, and that's why none of those things are gonna have him in a good case. All right, at the return of Yahushua, man. You see, he's gonna be completely powerless, man. Matter of fact, let's get there, and we can end it here. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6. All right, in verse 14, it says, "And the heaven, all right, departed as a scroll when together." And every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And this is when the nukes are hidden, man. And when the nukes are hidden, Yahweh Shai is going to be on the scene. And the kings of the earth, all right, you elites, and the great men, okay, and the rich men, yeah, these you know, these oligarch families, you know, under the elites, okay. And it says, and the chief captain and the mighty men and every bondman, yeah, because you're gonna have, you know, military personnel in these bunkers, all right. You're gonna have slaves in these bunkers, okay. You're gonna have essential, you know, workers, certain professionals and experts in these bunkers, you know, hide themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountain. See why this prophecy had this nigga hiding every goddamn time, man. If he's supposed to be this power, you know, to be feared, but this nigga is every time you go in the prophecy, this nigga in the bunker some goddamn way, man. Hiding, man. Okay? You see? So hey, Esau, hey, come on, mix us with that tough shit, man. Okay? You a goddamn fraud, man. It says, and said to the mountain, to the rocks fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai gonna come and show real power. Yahweh Shai is gonna be the king of terrors on Esau ass, man. Okay? See, all that tough talk gonna disappear in one day. Okay, he said, for the great day of the wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? And only the elect, okay, that's on those chairs are gonna be able to stand in that day, man. Okay? Of true power being shown. You know, and Lord will, that true power shows us mercy, man. So that's the point. Just wanted to get into that, Lord will, you brothers. All right, and you few sisters were edified once again. Want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful Shalom.